A mad scientist threatens the world with their terrifying inventions. An alien warlord from a faraway galaxy has unleashed her army of minions on the world. Population centers are being destroyed by a giant rampaging robot. The world's only hope is a team of heroes, each with their own impressive powers. Will you join them? No, not those heroes. These heroes are slightly different, but just as powerful. Welcome to Games at the Tavern. Let's roll right into our quick review of Sentinels of the Multiverse. What is Sentinels of the Multiverse? Sentinels of the Multiverse is a cooperative hand management superhero card game released in 2011 by Greater Than Games, designed by Christopher Bodell, Paul Bender, and Adam Robotaro, with art by Adam Robotaro. Sentinels of the Multiverse is for 2 to 5 players, ages 8 and up, and takes between 30 and 60 minutes to play. Players select a villain and an environment to fight the villain in. Then each player selects a hero. Each villain, environment, and hero have unique abilities, along with differing levels of complexity to play or difficulty to defeat. Setup is rather simple. Each villain has their own setup rules, and the players draw 4 cards from their decks. HP trackers are distributed as appropriate to the villain and each player. Each round of play is rather simple, at least in how each round proceeds. The villain begins and takes their turn, then the players go, and each round ends with the environment's turn. During their turns, the villain and the environment follow the instruction on their respective cards for start, during, and end of turn, and perform all the actions described there. The players' turns are simple as well. Perform any actions that apply at the start of their turn, then they can choose to play a card, then they can play a power on any played cards, then draw cards back up to 4, and finally perform any actions that apply at the end of their turn. Gameplay is cooperative amongst the players. They can talk amongst themselves to figure out the best way forward. How Sentinels of the Multiverse ends. Sentinels of the Multiverse ends when either all players have been incapacitated or the villain has been destroyed. Insights and impressions. This is easily one of my group's favorite games, including the owner of the game that instantly fell in love with it over a decade ago. Gameplay is simple, but it can take a couple playthroughs to learn each hero. We also highly recommend you look through a hero's deck before playing to see what your options will be, so you understand any possible combination that you may have later. As one of my groups said, this game has the IDIC philosophy when it comes to replayability. Infinite diversity and infinite combinations. Any hero can be played against any villain, and vice versa. And any game can take place in any environment. One thing to keep in mind, some heroes seem to do better against certain villains, and vice versa. And some heroes may even have better buffs in certain environments, such as Ra's ability to make every hero immune to fire damage when the volcano erupts on Dinosaur Island. So the level of difficulty of each game may be slightly different than mentioned in the rulebook, but for my group, that just added to the enjoyment of the game. Sometimes you don't want to just steamroll the villain. Sometimes you want the game to come down to one round, where either the villain gets destroyed or all players will become incapacitated at the start of the villain's turn. This happened to us in one of our games we played for this review, and it was amazing, and we were so happy we pulled the victory out at the last possible opportunity. Please take a second and give us a thumbs up if you like this video. Be sure to click subscribe and ring that bell to be notified when a new video drops. Conclusion. If you love cooperative card games, then Sentinels of the Multiverse, along with all the expansions, has to be on your shelf, and it has to make it to the table as frequently as possible. As usual with cooperative games, the more you play with the same group, the better you each become and the better the game ends up being. There's nothing wrong with picking your favorite hero, and that is the hero you always play. No 2 games of Sentinels of the Multiverse will be the same. The order in which cards come out can drastically change the outcome in each game, even if you play with the same heroes against the same villain in the same environment each time. Sentinels of the Multiverse is one game that you will never get tired of, especially if you add in expansions bringing in new heroes, villains, and environments. Please leave a comment letting us know your experience with Sentinels of the Multiverse and whether you agree or disagree with our review. Also, be sure to tell us other games you would like to see reviewed. Thanks as always to Kay Marie. She is the artist behind the logos you see in our videos, the merch site, and across social media. Be sure to check out our other game review videos. We also have playlists for DM tips and player tips, so please check those out too. Thanks for watching. Remember to be kind to each other, accept each other, and love each other.